We're also being joined by now Glenn McGillivray, Managing Director, Institute for Catastrophic Loss Reduction and Adjunct Professor, Disaster and Emergency Management at York University. Glenn, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, we are being hit hard in the BC, and we were just speaking with our reporter on the ground. The rain continues over there in Abbotsford. The Prime Minister also said a few days ago that events like these would happen once in 100 years, but now are being seen more frequently. How does one deal and cope with such phenomena?
Well, I think, in Canada, we're pretty good at reacting. We're not that great with the preparation to prevent these things from happening. But we have the armed forces coming in, as we have had over the last few natural disasters. We have to get better at doing this. We have to start realizing that these events are now systemic. They're not one-offs that happen here and there. They happen quite regularly. They're going to happen more regularly in the future. We have to have more permanent institutions in the place to deal with these things.
The damage, as we know, has been extensive, be it BC or Atlantic Canada. There is loss of life in BC, livelihoods, livestock. What goes through your mind? How can this be avoided?
Well, the first thing that comes through my mind, of course, is yes, this can be prevented. The natural hazard itself can't be prevented. We can't stop the rain from falling. We can't stop the wind from blowing, but we can prevent it from causing damage. We have to get better at doing this. We have to harden our communities. We have to deal with small communities that don't have the resources that larger communities have. We really have to think this over, and we really need a plan.
So, there is a lot of focus, Glenn, a lot of focus on climate change and action that needs to be taken. We just saw the climate summit as well that happened a few weeks ago. Now, some plans are short-term, some plans are long-term, but meanwhile, you've been saying we need to have a better plan. How can municipal, provincial and federal governments work together and, change course? What should those plans be?
Well, the federal government is currently working on a national climate change adaptation strategy. It's due out at the end of next year. It's very important to note that this strategy is not just about what the federal government is going to do in the face of all this. This is going to be an all-encompassing plan that will take all levels of government into consideration. It will take private industry into consideration, like the insurance industry and others. It will take other groups and NGOs into consideration. It'll be a big plan. It'll be an all-encompassing plan. We need it. We need it now, but it's coming out at the end of next year. It should make all the difference.
What does one learn? What are the learnings from events like these? Over the past 1 year, let's just talk about the province of BC, Glenn. We've seen how they've had a tough time with wildfires and then the heat dome. And now we're talking about flooding in the same regions, which were parched dry. What does one learn?
Well, I think one of the things that we learned is that when it really hits the fan, when we have more than one community being hit at once, it's very challenging. We can't just react ad hoc anymore. We need institutions in place, permanent institutions. The United States has the Federal Emergency Management Administration or agency. We need something like that. We do have Public Safety Canada. They don't act in the same way. We do need a FEMA type of organization in here. Using the military is not a bad idea, but that's not sustainable. We need organizations that are professional, that can move in, first of all, to prevent these things from happening, and then to react in a different way than they are now.
Okay.
Many learnings for sure.
Many learnings for sure. Okay, we'll leave it at that for now. Glenn McGillivray, Managing Director, Institute for Catastrophic Loss Reduction and Adjunct Professor, Disaster and Emergency Management, York University. Thank you for your time, Glenn.
Thank you.